everyone, it's Riley here. Welcome back to another video. So today I thought I'd do a really fun idea. I am doing 13 books for 13-year-olds. So I'm 13, if you didn't know. And I love reading. Reading is like one of my favorite things to do. I'm actually in a really good book right now, but I didn't put it in this list because I haven't finished it. So these are all books that I have read and finished and that I loved and that I totally recommend if you're 13 years old, just because they're like young. Some of them are young adult, but I mean, read them if you're like, this is just like for my age group. This is books that I know I enjoyed, so I know that probably other 13-year-olds will like them. So yeah, if you guys want more videos like this, like, comment, and subscribe down below, and shout out winners will be at the end of this video. So let's get started. So these books are in no particular order, so don't think that I'm ranking these because I just can't, because they're all my favorite. So the first book I have is Frozen Charlotte. This is a horror book, and it's about a girl who this isn't a spoiler, but her best friend dies because of a Ouija board thing that you'll read if you read this book, and she has to go to the island of Skye to visit her her uncle and her 3 cousins, who are not Sophie. The main character's name is Sophie. Piper, who is like super perfect. Cameron has a scarred hand, and Lilias, who has a fear of bones. And there used to be another cousin named Rebecca, but she died mysteriously, so ooh. So on a scale of 1 to 10 on how good this book is, I would definitely rate it a 9, because very few horror books I've read have given me chills, but this one has really, it scared me. Like, I read it with my friends, and oh my god, like I remember I was reading so intently in class one day that one of my friends came up behind me and I was like, I like jumped. So yeah, this is totally a good book. I totally recommend it. The next book is Follow Me Back by A.V. Geiger. It's the pad sensation Adam and Jane. I don't know, I just decided to add that in because it screams it at the top, as you can see. So this is a really good book that just came out with the sequel that I haven't read. I've read a little bit of it because I read the sample. So this is about a girl named Tessa who has a huge celebrity crush on Eric Thorne, who, this is like taken in the place of Twitter, and her username is Tessa Hearts Eric, and then Eric Thorne, and then she makes a username called Eric Thorne Sucks, and somehow they start talking to each other, but she doesn't know it's Eric and he doesn't know it's her. The one thing, Tessa is agoraphobic. If you didn't know what agoraphobic is, it is when you are scared of like going outside, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so on a scale of 1 to 10 on how good this book is, I would rate it as 7, because while it is really good, it's very slow at points, and sometimes you just really want to skip through. So yeah, definitely read it. This is like a thriller, I guess. Not a horror, but like a thriller / romance. All right, the next book is probably a book maybe you've heard of because it's a little well known. It's called Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is part of a 4-part series. Well, this one, there are 3 others, and then there's 2 more that one of them's, I don't remember the word, but like it comes before, and then there's one that comes after, and then Marissa Meyer's also written other books, so you should read them. So this is about, in the future, a cyborg named Cinder. She's a mechanic, and the royal prince Kaido, I don't know, has asked her to fix his android, and there's like this big plague going around, and like it's really in depth. It's kind of hard to explain the whole thing just now, so I totally recommend reading this book. Every book is kind of based off of, well, the title is based off one of the characters in the book, the main character in that book, and it's based around a fairy tale. Like this one's Cinder, so as you can tell, Cinderella. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate this book a 9 again, because this is such a good book. It's like so in depth. It really reminds me of the Harry Potter books. It is a really good book. I love it because before I read this book, I was like, ew, I hate sci-fi novels. I don't want to read them. But I read this whole series. This is so good. I totally recommend it. All right, so the next book you've probably heard about it. So obviously the cover isn't on it. It is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I can't really say her last name. So this is, I guess I read this in 2nd grade, but it's definitely good for 13-year-olds. It's about a kid named August Pullman, or Augie, who has a facial deformity, and he has to go through 5th grade for the first time because he's been homeschooled. They just came out with a movie of this, so I'm guessing most people have heard about this. But if you haven't read this book yet and you've only seen the movie, I totally recommend reading the book. The book is amazing. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate this a 7 because, again, it's kind of a lower level reading. It's just amazing. So, and it talks about, if you've ever heard the quote, when given the choice to choose right or kind, choose kind. So yeah, so this is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. So the next book is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. This book I started, I don't know how long ago, but oh my gosh, this is an amazing book, and it's part of a series, 3 books. Well, counting this one, it's 3. And it's about this boy named Jacob who, his grandfather dies, in a way you'll find out, and he travels, I haven't read this book in a while, so I'm kind of basing off the back. Yes, he travels to this island with his father, trying to find Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. On a scale of 1 to 10, I rate this book a 10 because of how amazing it is. It puts in sci-fi, well not sci-fi, but like fantasy and romance and thriller. Oh my goodness, it is one of my favorite books of all time. So this is highly recommended, so yeah. Okay guys, so the next book is also part of a series, I think 3 books. It's called Bad Girls Don't Die by Katie Allender. So I haven't read this one in so long, so I'm just gonna read you the back because I don't really remember about this book, but I know it was really good. So Alexis thought she led a typical dysfunctional high school existence, dysfunctional like her parents' marriage, her doll crazy 13-year-old sister Casey, and even her own antisocial, anti-cheerleader attitude. When a family fight results in some tearful sisterly bonding, Alexis realizes that her life is creeping from dysfunction into danger. Casey is acting stranger than ever. Her blue eyes go green sometimes. She uses old-fashioned language, and she even loses... Okay, so I know that just cut. The main characters in this book is called Alexis, and my Echo Dot over there, I'm not going to say the name, but you know the name, thought I said her name, and that scared me because this is a ghost book. I had a heart attack. Alright, but anyway, that's really all I need to really read of the back, so... on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate this book a 5. It's my lowest ranking on this little list of mine because it moves so slow. It was very, very slow and not very scary as I thought it would be, but still a really good book. So yeah, this is Bad Girls Don't Die by Katie Allender. Alright guys, so the next book again doesn't have a cover. So this is Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein. So, yep, that's upside down. So I got this book a couple Christmases ago, and I really didn't want to read it. I was like, okay, and then I read it, and it was so awesome. It's like, it makes you think of Willy Wonka, honestly, and there's puzzles in it, and it's about this kid who wins a contest to go and see Mr. Lemoncello's library for the first time, and a bunch of other kids, and it's an escape room. First kid to get out gets all these amazing prizes, and it is amazing. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate it a 7 because it is a lower level book, but it is definitely really fun if you like to do mind puzzles and stuff like that. So yeah. So the next book I have is The Girl I Used to Be by April Henry. So this book is about a girl whose parents were both murdered in a horrific way when she was 1 year old and she was dropped off at a Walmart. And everyone always thought that her father was still alive because they only found her mother's remains, but then they found her father's remains, and yeah. So she's trying to figure out what's going on now. So she's trying to figure out who killed her parents. She wants to find out, and it's really with a bunch of twists and turns. It's a thriller all the way, and I'd rate it an 8. I almost said A8. No. I rated an 8 because sometimes it's slow, but it is an amazing book. So, The Girl I Used to Be by April Henry. Alright, so now we're going to get into the book series that most people know, so we're going to go with a big one. Harry Potter. So, I don't have the first book. I checked out the first book from my local library, like at my school library when I had it, so I didn't actually have the real version, so I just have the 5th book right now, because my brother is actually reading the series right now, and he has my 4th book. So, if you didn't know, if you're living under a rock, Harry Potter is about a boy whose parents were killed in a supposed car accident when he was younger, and he finds out he's a wizard, and he goes to this big school called Hogwarts. Yeah, I was a huge Harry Potter freak when I was in 3rd grade. If I had to rate these books, I'd rate 10 out of 10 because it's just moving all the time, twists and turns, mysteries, fantasies. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So, Harry Potter. But, oh yeah, I didn't say the author, J.K. Rowling. I mean, doesn't everyone know that? Alright, so the next book is also another big series, Divergent by Veronica Roth. So I loved this book so much when I read it. I finally was like, okay, fine, I'll read it. And I did it and I was like, what? Amazing. So Divergent is about this really cool futuristic society where there are like 5 what they call factions, not fractions, factions, where each one focuses on one human characteristic, like knowledge, honesty, selflessness, I can't say that word, and stuff like that, and you have to choose which one you want to go to based on a test. And when you're divergent, it means you belong to one or more of these factions, which is not good. And the main character is divergent, and she decides to go to this one faction called Dauntless, which is like bravery, and it's just an amazing series. 10 out of 10, recommend it. Yeah, 10 out of 10, I'm giving it that because it's just so, I just love futuristic. I love dystopian novels. They're like my favorite. So yeah, Divergent. The next book, again, is a big book that most people know. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. So this is the one book I can remember in my life that in 4th grade, I was obsessed. Like, I mean, for Harry Potter, I was Harry Potter in 3rd grade, but then I was Katniss Everdeen in 4th grade. So Hunger Games is another dystopian novel about a girl named Katniss Everdeen who lives in a futuristic society where they have the Hunger Games, where 2 people, a boy and a girl, ages 13 to 18, I think, from each district, there are 12 districts, are chosen to fight to the death in this arena for the Hunger Games. And I love how the series moves on in the future books. Like, there's the Hunger Games Catching Fire, and then there's Mockingjay. Oh my gosh, I just love it. 10 out of 10. I love it. So awesome. Totally recommend it. Alright, now for our second to last book. I really love this book, and I'll explain why. Well, I love all my books. Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper. So I remember on the last day of my 5th grade year, I think, my mom let me go to the bookstore. She was like, here, yeah, you can buy a book. So I bought this book because I've always wanted to read it. Oh my goodness, this is such an awesome book. It's about a girl named Melody, not Melanie, Melody, who's 11 years old, and she has a photographic memory, and she's super smart, but no one knows it because she has cerebral palsy, which is, she can't walk, she can't talk, but her brain is totally normal. Like, she can think for herself. She goes through this whole journey in the book through her first year of being in the inclusive classes. It is just a beautiful book. 9 out of 10, just because it is a lower level book, if you can see. I know it looks like a lot of words, but yeah, I totally recommend this, so yeah. All right, and finally, our last book. Now, this was a book that definitely made me cry. 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. So, if you didn't know, 13 Reasons Why, a very popular Netflix series, is about a girl named Hannah Baker who kills herself, and the guy on the front, Clay Jensen, gets these tapes, these 13, well, not 13 tapes, but tapes that have sides that make up 13 tapes, all telling each one has one person on it, and that's why you're one of the reasons why she killed herself. It is a really, really, really sad novel. And then when you watch the Netflix series, just more crying, and it's ugly. But 10 out of 10, it's so beautiful, and it definitely raises awareness of teen suicide, which is definitely a big thing. So yeah, I totally recommend it. So that is my 13 picks for 13-year-olds. I hope you guys enjoyed. The shout out winners are going to go in right here. So yeah. So thank you all for watching my video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!